In the conclusion of Vatican II Council of Apostasy, we show information that seems to indicate that Cardinal Giuseppe Siri from Genoa, Italy, was lawfully elected Pope during the conclave on October 26, 1958. On that 26th day of October, white smoke billowed from the Sistine Chapel for 5 minutes. White smoke indicates that a pope has been elected. This was reported on radio and in newspapers throughout the whole world. Vatican Radio announced, quote, "The smoke is white. There is absolutely no doubt a pope has been elected," end quote. Vatican Radio also said that the other cardinals were probably going through the rites for accepting the new pope. Then after 5 minutes, no pope emerged, and the white smoke turned to black smoke. At the same time in the Sistine Chapel, Cardinal Siri had just been elected and accepted the election. But then Siri was threatened in various ways not to assume the office of the papacy. Malachi Martin said that a note was passed to Siri after he accepted the election, which contained various threats that would be carried out if Siri assumed the office of Pope. Siri was reported to then have asked the other cardinals to vote again, so that he might be totally sure that it was indeed the will of God that he is to be Pope. The cardinals then went back to voting for a Pope, and 2 days later the Masonic infiltrator and apostate John the 23rd emerged, claiming to be Pope. Since Siri was pressed not to accept the election, the subsequent election of John the 23rd was invalid by that fact alone. John the 23rd was therefore an anti-pope. John the 23rd held a secretive, multi-hour post-election meeting with all the participants in the conclave. These reports are also confirmed by Alden Hatch in his 1963 book on John the 23rd, called A Man Named John. On page 163 he states, quote, "John the 23rd asked the cardinals to remain in the conclave another night, instead of leaving immediately as was customary, to caution them again against revealing the secrets of his election to outsiders," end quote. On May 18, 1985, Louis Remy spoke to Cardinal Siri at Genoa, Italy. Remy asked various questions to Siri. Siri was asked a question about the 1958 conclave. Siri answered the question, quote, "No." Remy continued, quote, "Some moments later when we asked him whether he had been elected Pope, his reaction was completely different. He started by remaining silent for a long time, then raised his eyes to heaven, joined his hands and said, quote, 'I am bound by the secret.' Then after a long silence, heavy for us all, he said again, quote, 'I am bound by the secret. This secret is horrible. I would have books to write about the different conclaves. Very serious things have taken place, but I can say nothing.' Remy and the others who were present then believed that Siri was definitely elected Pope. Cardinal Siri believed that he was bound by the oath of absolute secrecy that all cardinals take prior to entering the conclave. The penalty for disclosing anything about what happens during a lawful conclave is automatic excommunication. Siri believed that he was bound till death to keep the secrets of the conclave, not realizing that he wasn't bound not to reveal what happened in the conclave, because the rules of the conclave had already been broken, and the supreme office of the Church was at stake. The Catholic Encyclopedia of 1907 states that a valid abdication of a pope must be a free act, hence a forced resignation of the papacy would be null and void. Canon 185 of the 1917 Code of Canon Law says the same thing, stating that resignation is invalid by law if it was made out of grave fear unjustly inflicted or fraud.